The movie begins in Los Angeles, and we see Jay Wheeler sitting on his bed, looking out the window. He hears loud traffic and car honks in the background. He rubs his eyes to wake up. Then he puts on his pants and picks up a golf club to practice swinging. Soon after, a woman wakes up next to him. Jay tells her he is leaving and asks her to lock the door when she goes out. She knows Jake won't start a relationship, but she still asks. Jay smiles and says no. Next, we see Jay go to a club, but the bouncer stops him because of what he did the night before. Jay says he doesn't remember. The bouncer persists and reminds him of all the embarrassing things he did. After that, Jay goes to a horse race hoping to win a bet, but he loses. Devastated, he goes to a pub and orders a drink. Soon, a person named Mr. Vincent joins him with a big guy. Jay gets nervous and lies, telling Vincent that he was about to call him, but Vincent won't listen. He takes Jay's wallet and sees it is almost empty. Vincent says he was hoping to find the $37,000 Jay owes him. Jay says he has started an online business and will soon be returning all the dues. But Vincent says he heard from his sources that Jay's family is very rich. Jay says he has left his family, which is why he borrows money from Mr. Vincent. Just then, the bartender brings Jay's card and says it was declined. Vincent stops smiling and in a serious voice reminds Jay that he knows every of Jay's locations, including the place where he goes for probation. He gives Jay a deadline. If Jay does not pay back by Friday, he will face the consequences. Then the big guy beats Jay as a warning. Jay falls to his hands and knees, coughs, but then suddenly gets up and punches the big guy back. Afterwards, Jay sits in the Los Angeles County Probation Department. The judge reads the charges against him, plus a new one. This makes Jay burst into laughter. As punishment, Jay has to work as a janitor at a psychiatric hospital in Los Angeles. After cleaning the floors, he changes out of his uniform in the locker room. A security guard tells him the same big guy came to the hospital, but the guard sent him away by saying Jay was not there. Jay thanks him. Then Jay looks at another janitor named Frockle. Jay does not like how Frockle keeps staring at him. After Frockle leaves, the guard reminds Jay about his brother's wedding next week. The guard suggests Jay rent a tuxedo and go to the party. He then advises Jay to get on his father's good side because his father might prove be an open checkbook for him. Jay thinks for a moment and then decides to go to the wedding. He calls his mom, Mrs. Wheeler, and says he will come. Mrs. Wheeler is very happy and wants Jay to talk to his dad. Jay tries to stop her, but she has already given the phone to his father, Mr. Wheeler. Jay greets his dad and lies that he is doing great. He says he got an administrative job at a psychiatric hospital. He also lies, saying that he met someone, a nurse, and she is his girlfriend. His dad gets excited and says he should bring her to the wedding. He tries to shrug it off by saying that she is busy, but his dad insists, saying his mom and family would also like to meet her. Jay has no other option but to agree. After that, he hangs up and realizes he is in big trouble. The next day, Jay is mopping the floor at the hospital, trying to figure out what to do. He sees a nurse named Susan and goes to talk to her, but Susan ignores him completely. Jay finally asks if she will go to his brother's wedding with him. Susan looks shocked and walks away with a disgusted look. Just then, Jay notices another nurse, Margie, and a guard who have brought a patient with them. The patient is a shy young woman named Daisy Kensington. She is barefoot and holds her own arm to calm herself. She looks at Jay, and Jay is immediately drawn to her beauty. Nurse Margie notices Jay staring at Daisy and tells Jay to walk away. Soon after, Dr. Bertleman, the in charge of the psychiatric hospital, calls Jay to his office. He accuses Jay of giving alcohol and adult magazines to two patients, Feltmitter and Bryant. Those patients are very sick, and what Jay did was very wrong. The doctor warns him not to do it again. He tells Jay to just focus only on his job. He reminds Jay that if he breaks his probation, he will end up in a big problem. Jay gets nervous and leaves. Outside, Daisy is waiting with a nurse. She looks at Jay as he walks away with his cleaning cart. Dr. Bertleman then talks to Daisy. She is very nervous and does not speak much. She acts out what she means. The doctor asks if she knows where she is. Daisy says no. Bertleman tells Daisy she is in a psychiatric hospital. The police report said her mother died, and Daisy left a note for the mailman asking what she should do. She does not even know what day it is, but she hears a lot of voices in her head, which is why she is in the hospital. At night, Jay finishes work and walks down the hall. He hears Daisy ask someone if he is a doctor. He listens through the door and then rushes in and punches Frockle. Frockle was pretending to be a doctor to take advantage of Daisy. As Frockle lies on floor, Daisy gets panic and quickly starts apologizing. Jay calms her and says she does not need to apologize because Frockle was going to harm her. Daisy does not understand, but Jay explains that Frockle is not a doctor and she needs to protect herself, especially in this hospital. Daisy recalls Jay as the mopping man. Another patient named Mrs. Neilberry wakes up, but Jay tells her to go back to sleep. Jay then gently touches Daisy's face and tells her to be careful. Then he rushes out because Dr. Bertleman already warned him to stay away from patients. Jay leaves the hospital, but Daisy follows him with her things. When Jay sees her outside, he gets the shock of his life. He quickly tells Daisy to go back inside before anyone sees her outside. But Daisy says that she is coming with him because she does not like it there. Jay pulls her into a corner to hide. Jay then asks why she is not wearing shoes. Daisy says shoes hurt her feet and she likes to be barefoot all the time. Jay gets surprised but insists her to go back inside, but Daisy gets a panic attack. Jay calms her down by saying it is okay if she does not want to go back. Jay then tells Daisy she can go anywhere she wants. Jay gives her some money. Jay then walks away, but he feels guilty. He quickly turns back and asks Daisy if she has anyone to call, but Daisy says she has no one. Jay then gets an idea. He decides to take Daisy to his brother's wedding and introduce her as his nurse girlfriend. As they ride, Jay asks if she has any ID. Daisy empties her bag, but finds none. Jay tells her not to worry and smiles. Jay then tells her to pretend she is a nurse. Innocent Daisy is unsure because she was taught by her mother never to lie. Jay thinks fast and says she will be pretending, not lying. Daisy asks what the difference is. Jay gets gobsmacked by Daisy's question and does not know how to answer. He says he will tell her later. But something in Jay's eyes convinces Daisy, and she agrees. At the airport, Daisy wears bright clothes and red heels, which makes everyone stare at her. She notices and asks Jay if she looks okay. Jay carelessly replies she looks great. On the plane, Jay falls asleep. Soon, a flight attendant wakes him and says Daisy has been in the bathroom for quite some time. Jay knocks on the door and asks her about the problem. Daisy says the toilet has no flush. Jay points out where the button is, but when she presses it, it scares her, and she runs out screaming. Jay makes her sit down and suggests that she get some sleep, but Daisy is not sleepy. To make her sleep, Jay warns her that if she does not sleep, she will get red eyes, and she would not want that when she meets Jay's family. She agrees to sleep, but gets bored in seconds. She then turns on her seat light, which bothers other passengers. The attendant wakes Jay again. Now Daisy has gone to business class. Jay rushes to her and tells her that they cannot sit there because they haven't paid for it. Another crew member asks if Daisy is fine. Jay covers up and calls Daisy his girlfriend. He then takes Daisy back to her seat. After some time, Daisy asks why everyone is moving. Jay explains that they are about to land soon. In her heart, Daisy is happy because Jay called her his girlfriend. She asks if she really is. Jay says yes, but he does not mean it. Till now, Jay is only doing this because he promised his parents he would bring a girlfriend. But for Daisy, this feels like the start of something new. Her mother told her she would never be anyone's girlfriend. Now Jay has proved her mother wrong. Soon they arrive at Jay's father's big house. Daisy feels scared and decides to go back, but Jay assures her that everything will be fine. He then holds her hand and takes her inside. Jay's mother, Mrs. Wheeler, is very happy to see her son, and she greets him with a hug. Jay introduces Daisy to his mother. Mrs. Wheeler likes her dress and quickly notices that Daisy is barefoot. Jay covers up, saying they are tired. Mrs. Wheeler offers to get their luggage, but Daisy says they have no luggage. Jay again covers up, saying they like to travel light. Amidst their discussion, Mrs. Wheeler starts to like Daisy's innocence, and she laughs at her straight answers. She then takes them to their rooms. Jay goes outside to smoke. His father joins him there. Mr. Wheeler thought Jay quit smoking, but Jay says that the stress is too much. Mr. Wheeler then takes Jay to the garage and shows him his caravan. He tells Jay that there are only 2 such caravans working in the whole country, and he practically stole one. In the evening, Jay meets his brother Jerry Wheeler, who is about to be married. Mr. Wheeler brings a glass and they toast to Jerry. Then Mr. Wheeler meets Daisy. She is wearing a black and red dress, but is still barefoot. Daisy tells him she is a nurse, just as Jay told her. Mr. Wheeler jokes that he is glad because he thinks he is getting sick. Then Jay arrives to take control of the situation. Soon after, Jerry and his fiancée Kate join them. They ask how Jay and Daisy met. Jay quickly changes the subject, but Daisy points out how skinny Kate is. Kate gets flattered and takes it as a compliment. At the dinner table, Daisy tries champagne for the first time. She loves it and says it tastes like drinking perfume. Mr. Wheeler quickly jokes, saying it costs as much as perfume. Mrs. Wheeler then tells her to have as much as she wants. Then the food comes. Daisy hates its smell. She asks if it is cat food. She asks Mrs. Wheeler if she will eat it. This makes everyone laugh. Mrs. Wheeler is a little surprised and says it is Jerry's favorite. Jerry quickly says it is not. Everyone laughs, and suddenly the dinner becomes a happy family reunion. As they talk, Jerry asks about Jay's new job. Jay startles, but then explains that it is an administrative job. Mr. Wheeler jokes that at least it is not mopping floors. Daisy giggles and covers her mouth. Jay quickly says he is also looking into business ideas like gaming apps. Mr. Wheeler is not impressed, but Jerry is. Discussion then suddenly becomes serious when Mr. Wheeler asks Jay whether he came back for money. Jay denies. It says he is there only for the wedding. His father keeps pushing, but Mrs. Wheeler stops him. After dinner, Jay takes Daisy to her room. She laughs and says she has never had champagne before. Jay says she did well and everyone liked her. Daisy is happy she could help. They look at each other for a moment. Jay says goodnight and leaves. He does not see that Daisy has started to love him. In the morning, Mrs. Wheeler knocks on Jay's door. She tells him Daisy is cleaning the bathroom. Jay stays calm, but then goes to see on Daisy. He finds Daisy cleaning his parents' bathroom. Daisy says she used to clean and cook for her mother. Jay sits with her and says she does not have to do that here. Daisy says that her mother told her that doing chores would earn her love. Jay tells Daisy that people love each other just because they love them, not for any reason. Daisy's eyes fill with tears. She says her mother died because of her. Jay is stunned for a few seconds. Then he comforts her. On the wedding day, Daisy wears a very short dress and keeps pulling it down. She tells Mrs. Wheeler the dress does not cover enough. She also says Jay borrowed the dresses from a stripper. Mrs. Wheeler laughs, but knows Daisy might be telling the truth. She takes Daisy to her room to change her clothes. At the same time, Jay sits in his room and wonders if bringing Daisy was the right thing. Soon after, he joins his dad, and they wait for his mom and Daisy to come downstairs. Mrs. Wheeler has put Daisy in a beautiful gold dress and given her a makeover. When Jay sees her, He is amazed by her beauty and can't stop looking at her. Daisy seems very happy. As she takes a step, she stumbles but quickly catches the railing. Everyone gasps, but Daisy keeps moving. At the ceremony, a flower girl spreads petals. Daisy gets excited and tries to pick up the petals to give back to the girl. Jay runs from the podium and tells her to sit and watch. At the after party, Mr. Wheeler says he has been thinking about Jay's business idea. He says investing is like throwing darts in the dark. Jay says he did his research. Mr. Wheeler asks how much money he needs. Jay says $35,000 to $40,000. Before Mr. Wheeler can answer, Mrs. Wheeler calls them for photos. At the same time, Daisy walks around the party, wondering. Some of Jay's ex-girlfriends ask her about their relationship. Daisy repeats what she was told. After some time, she asks Jay to dance. She shows some great moves, and Jay is surprised. The music changes to a slow song. Jay holds her waist and tells her to relax. They sway to the music. Daisy says she has never danced with anyone. Jay asks about her school dance. Daisy says she never went to school, so no one understands her. Jay says that he understands her, but Daisy smiles and says she thinks he also does not understand him either. Then Mr. and Mrs. Wheeler join them. Mrs. Wheeler wants to dance with Jay, so Mr. Wheeler dances with Daisy and asks how she met Jay. Daisy says they met at a hospital, but Mr. Wheeler knows his son too well and pushes her to tell the truth. Daisy cannot handle this pressure and freaks out. She sits on the ground. Everyone gets worried and gathers around her. Jay quickly grabs her firmly and takes her outside. Jerry and Mr. Wheeler follow. They suggest calling a doctor, but Jay says she is fine. Mr. Wheeler keeps asking who she really is. Jay puts Daisy in a taxi and admits he is a janitor at a mental hospital, and Daisy is a patient. Hearing this, Mr. Wheeler gets furious and walks away. Daisy tries to give back the necklace Mrs. Wheeler gave her, but it gets stuck. Mr. Wheeler returns and makes a scene. Daisy gets very nervous and starts shouting. Jay looks at his dad with utter disappointment. He then gives the necklace back to his mom, gets in the taxi, and leaves without looking back. On the ride home, Daisy asks if they are done with the plan. Jay replies yes, but he has something in his mind. They go to Jay's father's house. He looks for the keys to one of the cars. Daisy asks why they cannot fly back to Los Angeles. Jay says that since they are absconders, the authorities might be looking for them, so they have to drive. Daisy finds the keys to the caravan, the same one very dear to Jay's father. Jay thinks for a moment and then decides to take the caravan. They start their journey. At a gas station, Jay tries all his cards. They all get declined, but to his luck, his last card works. He fills up the caravan and they continue their journey. Daisy has a great time. She bounces on the bed and puts her face out the window. But then, Jay takes her to a bus station. He intends to give her money and leaves her there without explaining. Daisy innocently asks if he will be gone long. Jay says no and assures Daisy that he will be back after making a call to his friend. Jay then leaves Daisy and drives away, but inside he feels very guilty. Soon after, he tries to sell the caravan for money, but couldn't make the deal. Then night comes. Daisy is still waiting at the station. The station supervisor named Sammy then comes to her and asks if she needs help. She says no, her boyfriend went to make a call and will be back soon. Sammy tells her she needs to wear shoes, as he worries her feet will get cold. He then goes to the counter. On the other hand, Dr. Bertleman calls Jay and asks him about Daisy. Jay replies that Daisy is fine. Bertleman then tells Jay that Daisy has no social skills because she has lived her whole life inside her house. Jay tries to tell Bertleman that Daisy was very good socially, but Bertleman shouts that Jay is not a doctor. Jay then tells Bertleman that he left Daisy at a bus station in Shreveport, Louisiana, and hangs up. Jay drives a little, but cannot stop thinking about what the doctor said about Daisy. He then looks at Daisy's shoes in the caravan and shouts in frustration. Eventually, Daisy decides to ask Sammy for help. Just then, Jay returns. With tears in her eyes, Daisy asks if he will make any more phone calls. Jay says no more calls. She believes him, and Jay takes her along. They reach Texas. Jay holds Daisy's hand and walks to a supermarket. He gives her money and tells her to buy whatever she wants. She goes inside but feels overwhelmed. She picks many things. At the counter, the cashier says she can only have 9 items. Exactly at that moment, Jay comes in, takes her hand, and leaves everything on the counter. Daisy says she knows how to cook, but not how to pick things. As they leave, a police officer spots them and calls out. Jay grabs Daisy, and they start running. They quickly get in the caravan and drive off. The police officer chases them. During the chase, Daisy keeps Jay updated, and Jay thanks her. Then Jay takes a sharp turn off a bridge and loses the police car. They keep on driving, and it gets dark. Jay is now tired. He asks Daisy to drive, but she says she cannot because her mother told her driving would get her into trouble. Jay asks how she can read. Daisy says her mother taught her and played Scrabble. Jay then parks the caravan and decides to sleep for a few hours. He asks Daisy to wake him. Soon after, she wakes him and tells him that there is a cop outside. Jay panics and immediately hides in the caravan's bathroom. Strangely enough, Daisy understands the situation and tells the cop that her boyfriend ran toward the field. The cop looks inside the caravan and tries to open the bathroom door. Daisy quickly says there is no water in the bathroom, so they have not flushed. The cop closes the door because of the smell. Then the cop asks Daisy her boyfriend's name. She says Beaver. The cop gets emotional because his father's name was also Beaver. He tells her to wait while he looks for Beaver in the field. Daisy then knocks on the bathroom door and tells Jay what happened. Daisy then moves out of the caravan, takes the keys from the cop's car and throws them into the field. She comes back and says she did it so the cop would not catch Jay and separate them. Jay is stunned, but looks at her with admiration. They resume their journey. Daisy gets very hungry and also needs to use the bathroom. Jay decides to stop at a campsite where another family is staying. Daisy asks to use their bathroom. Then the family invites them to sit. After their daughter falls asleep, the mother says that once Daisy has her own kids, she will understand that children turn into little monsters when they wake up. Daisy feels excited at the thought of becoming a mother someday. As she thinks, she looks at Jay with love in her eyes, but Jay only smiles. Soon after they leave. In the caravan, Jay cannot sleep. He sees that Daisy is awake too. She bluntly asks if he is thinking about sleeping with her. Jay becomes speechless as he has nothing to say and blushes. Daisy quickly comforts him and says it is okay and asks about the gossip she heard at the party about Jay's affairs. Jay laughs and they talk for a long time. Jay never thought he would have such a conversation with anyone. After talking for some time, Jay says goodnight and goes back to his bed. The next day, they keep traveling. They go to a fair, ride swings, eat good food, and dance. Daisy says it is the best day of her life, but Jay looks serious. Daisy makes sandwiches and says they should not go back. Jay says he has caused enough trouble. He owes a lot of money to some people. Daisy says if she had money, she would give it to him. On hearing this, Jay gets touched. After some time, Jay stops at a station and says he will teach her how to drive. He gives her basic instructions, but when she touches the horn by mistake, she gets scared. But Jay encourages her and says she has done brave things on this trip. In the middle of their conversation, Dr. Bertleman calls. Jay moves out of the caravan and says he is bringing Daisy back. What Jay does not know is that Daisy was standing behind her. On hearing this, Daisy gets very upset. She gets in the caravan and starts the engine. Jay runs after her, asking her to stop. But Daisy won't listen as she drives in circles. All efforts by Jay to stop Daisy go in vain, and she drives into a big metal container. Jay runs to her. Luckily, she is not hurt. Jay hugs her and takes her to a diner. Their food comes, and she reminds Jay that they have no money. Daisy then tells Jay about her past life. Jay realizes Daisy is not sick. Her mother was sick and heard voices. One day, her mother screamed, but Daisy was too scared to go to her. The next morning, her mother had died in her sleep. Ever since, Daisy has blamed herself for her mother's death. Jay comforts Daisy and asks her not to blame herself. Daisy then asks why he plans to take her back to the hospital. Jay says at first he did, but now he does not want to. They look at each other, and this time Jay feels something too. He quickly leans over and kisses her. Daisy has her first kiss, and she gets very happy, but their moment is interrupted when the police arrive and take Jay into custody. This time, Jay does not fight back. They take Daisy too. Daisy and Jay look at each other as everything slows down. Daisy is then brought back to the hospital. Her fellow patients recognize her and call her name. Elsewhere, Mr. Wheeler is working at his office when Mrs. Wheeler arrives and angrily tells him that their son Jay is in Los Angeles County Jail. She says she knows he does not care. She then reminds him that his father once bailed him out when he was just as reckless as his son Jay. Mr. Wheeler says nothing and goes into a deep thought. Mrs. Wheeler leaves. The next day, Jay is bailed out. He is surprised to see his parents there. They smile, and he smiles back at them in gratitude. Jay then rushes back to his apartment. In his absence, someone broke in and destroyed it. He looks out the window and sees the same big guy waiting for him. The big guy sees Jay and chases him. Jay runs out the back door and goes to the hospital to see Daisy, but they will not let him in. But Jay is very smart. He goes to the train station and lies on the tracks. A guard yells at him to get off. He does not move. Jay does this so they will admit him to a psychiatric hospital. To his luck, he is brought to the same hospital. Dr. Bertleman says he will release Jay, but Jay refuses to leave without seeing Daisy. He tells the doctor that Daisy is not insane. The voices were in her mother's head, not Daisy's. The doctor looks stunned and leaves. Soon after, Mr. Feltmitter tells Jay everything that happened in the hospital, but Freckles still has a problem with Jay, so he lets the big guy inside the hospital. The big guy comes to Jay's room to hurt him, but Mr. Feltmitter saves Jay. The next day, injured Jay wakes up in a bed. Dr. Bertleman is sitting next to him. He tells Jay not to speak, but Jay asks about Daisy. Bertleman apologizes and says that Jay was right about Freckle and about Daisy's mother. Daisy's mother had schizophrenia. Bertleman wonders how she could raise a daughter at all. Jay sighs with relief and asks if they will release Daisy. The doctor says he will have to watch her. If all goes well, she will go to a group home. Jay says that is too long to wait and asks the doctor for a favor. He requests Bertleman to talk to Daisy once again. Dr. Bertleman reluctantly agrees and talks to Daisy. Bertleman asks Daisy if she likes Jay. She says she does not like him. She loves him. Bertleman asks how she knows she is in love if she has never been in love before. Daisy asks Bertleman if he loves someone. Bertleman gets emotional and says he was married once but is now divorced. Daisy looks at him and says he still loves his wife. She adds that when love happens, you just know it is not anything else. Bertleman is speechless and he smiles. Bertleman realizes Daisy is more sane than anyone in that hospital. He decides to release Daisy. Jay also gets a check from his father. His father wants him to clear his debts and come home. Their release from the hospital is emotional. A patient gives Daisy flowers. The nurses say goodbye. Daisy thanks Dr. Bertleman. Jay says goodbye to Mr. Feltmitter and whispers to Mr. Bryant that he knows Bryant can hear him. Bryant's expression changes as he smiles. Jay and Daisy meet at the hospital entrance, and they share a kiss. Daisy looks at him like she wants to say something. Jay asks what it is. In a funny moment, she tells him that he is standing on her feet. Jay apologizes, and they both laugh. And that's the end of the story. If you liked this video, please press the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.